So today we are going to be taking a look at a scenario where the Dark Red Union is real. Now if you don't know what the Dark Red Union is, it is a country from my What If Civilization Started Over series that is, it's quite strong. It's probably the 4th or 5th strongest country in the world in that series. And it has grown quite a large fan base, which is why it will get its own video today. Well, the Dark Red Union's history is kind of weird. Like, it was two countries, it was France and the Dutch country, and then they unionised together and created the Dark Red Union after like a load of kind of collapses of both those countries and stuff. But it'll just be plonked right down into the real world. I don't know how this happens, but it just happens. And yeah, the world is now terrified of this new Dark Red Union. It would be rather strong. It has all of the Netherlands, some parts of Germany, it has Belgium, most of Luxembourg, France, like all the important areas of France. So yeah, these guys would be okayly strong. Maybe like probably a top 10 power. But anyway, they're first going to be focusing all of their efforts down on Luxembourg. Now, what did Luxembourg do? Absolutely nothing, and they just get destroyed straight away. And in the peace treaty, they are fully annexed into the Dark Red Union. Now, the thing is about the Dark Red Union in real life, it's it wouldn't be like, it would definitely be strong, but it wouldn't be able to take over too many countries, considering the fact that most of the countries around it, even though they're quite weakened, like France, they'd still be decently strong. Like, they could maybe go after France, they might be able to win that, but against Germany, no, they wouldn't be able to win against the UK. So they're going to be going a little bit offshore over here, up over to Norway. Now, why is this? That is because they also got Sweden to join in. So we see Dark Red troops land over here, and this is actually German in my wiki. So they take a lot of this land over here, and yeah, they start working down and going up on Norway. All the Swedes will focus on the oil reserve areas over here, and this will help their economy a lot. This will help them. I don't know what's happened up over here. We'll just ignore that for a second and continue our daily Sweden attacking Norway interlude. We see them, the Swedes, take out all of the unimportant cold areas of Norway. I don't even know if anyone lives up here. But for the rest of it, we'll see it's pretty evenly split. But they're looking at something like this, and this probably does benefit it probably benefits the Dark Red Union more, considering they really want to expand. Now in this peace treaty, we see the Dark Red Union take over the important part of Norway down here, and the Swedes will get all this nice oily land up here, which they will use to sell to the world now, and cook. Anyway, at this point, there's probably no other weak countries except for maybe Denmark, but that wouldn't look too great on the map. But so what the Dark Red Union is actually going to do is they're going to send some boats out, and they're going to go up north all the way to Iceland. Now, why do they want Iceland? I don't know. They're just very expansionist. So they're going to make a few landings on the southern part of the island, and then link them all up around the coast. And they avoid the volcanic areas over here, but they go up towards Helsinki. No, not Helsinki, but the capital of Iceland, Reykjavik. They go up and take Reykjavik over here, and Iceland just surrenders. They don't even have a military, and they wouldn't be able to survive this. So in this peace treaty, they'll be fully annexed, and slowly the Dark Red Union is becoming very expansionist. But then one country will have enough, and that is France. France has had enough. They want their land back, and they'll catch the Dark Red Union by surprise and start attacking them down here. They'll also go up, and the Dark Red Union really wasn't expecting the French to attack them. They were planning on attacking the French, but not really the French attacking them. So this is kind of catching them by surprise, and they're able to do a little bit of expanding, or not expand, but they're actually able to get quite deep in, cutting off one of the capitals of the Dark Red Union, which is over here in Brittany. Which they actually have two capitals in the series, one up here in the Netherlands and one down here in Brittany. The French will also be able to take this exclave over here, and it's looking quite good until the Dark Red Union troops come back down all the way from Iceland to come and defend their motherland. Or fatherland, I guess. Bilingual land, whatever. They'll be able to kick out the French completely. The French, in this, they probably have the capital down here or something, but they're just not as strong as they would be usually. They are pretty nerfed. And somehow, what is going on over here? I think that kind of fixed it. But we see the Dark Red Union completely box off the rest of this French stuff over here in Alsace-Lorraine, taking all this. And they get someone who could be quite important as an ally. That is the Spanish. The Spanish will join this war and kind of start to like the Dark Red Union. I don't know why, but they'll come up and they'll take some French land over here. This isn't like a cooperated thing, but they kind of want some land, you know. Who doesn't want that much land? So take all of this before they'll say, alright, let's stop now. And slowly but surely the rest of the Dark Red Union, or I guess the rest of the French lands, the OG French, the OG France, because I guess Dark Red Union is also kind of France, it's taken over and we end up seeing a split that looks something like this. And now the Dark Red Union looks very beefy up here. They just look very fat, if I'm honest. But next we will see a coalition form against them. And this is mostly of countries who feel like their land has been taken, which only there's really Germany left. The UK will join in on this because they want France to be re-liberated again. If I haven't mentioned already, NATO didn't exist in this scenario, but yeah, so the UK will join. We also surprisingly see Denmark join this. I don't know why, but they do, and they just do. And also Portugal will, so that's quite an interesting one. And now I guess we have a kind of destruction, just a coalition in general, against this Dark Red Union country. People don't like it at all, they want it gone. So the Germans will start their pushes into their lands. The people kind of rejoice over here because they didn't like being part of the Dark Red Union anyway. This thing just plopped in, why would you like it? And this is just going to go very bad for the Dark Red Union. They get cut off over here and the rest of the Dutch lands just get cut off from them. We also somehow see the UK Navy make a few landings over here. They kind of go through the Channel Tunnel over here. No, not actually. But overall, stuff is going very bad for the Dark Red Union. And we even see one of their two capitals get taken, and the leader of this one, which they also dual monarchy as well, so you can say that, he'll flee down to over here in Brittany. But then something unexpected happens. Some people start to like the Dark Red Union. I don't really like, but they just join them. So we see Spain join this. We see Ireland over here join the Dark Red Union, kind of just to get Northern Ireland, but whatever. We also see Sweden, and this is where the Dark Red Union is smart. They've helped these countries, or some of the countries, they've helped some of these countries out, which gives them a kind of liking towards the Dark Red Union. And they know that stuff can happen sometimes. They know that there would be a big war in the end. Well, I guess they knew, but they wanted some allies for this war because they would be destroyed on their own. As you can see, they're getting smashed already. But then add some allies in and it starts to become a lot better. So instantly we see Spanish troops cross the border with Portugal and start invading the northern parts of the country. This catches everyone by surprise, so the Irish manage to take over all of the western part of Northern Ireland. And we see the Danes actually, the Danes are a bit crazy, so they manage to make a landing in southern Sweden and start moving up from there with German help, of course. The Swedish aren't as strong as they look, they are actually a lot weaker than they are. But we see the Dark Red Union being able to chip away at these British landings over here, except for this one, which actually starts to go very big. This is called D-Day V2, so I guess E-Day. Actually, this is called L-Day. L-Day, this over here, this is what it's called. We managed to see them take away both of these and start a push up into the Dutch areas, cutting off Alsace-Lorraine and getting very close to recapturing one of their two capitals. And down here we see the Spanish invade into the northern parts of Portugal, taking quite a lot of land, and this is going to help them drastically, I don't know. But unfortunately for the Irish, it's starting to go really bad for them, as the UK, they kind of didn't really mobilise anything, they didn't really care, they just wanted to have credit in the war. And maybe, you know, a little bit of land down here, but they just wanted that, so they managed to move quite a lot of assets over here into Ireland, pushing down very far, and, you know, the UK would win in a war versus Ireland. Maybe not with the Dark Red Union, as they by this point might be the strongest country in Europe, and Germany could give them a run for the money, and the UK. But they're definitely up there, and but we do see the Swedish actually start to push back against the Danish over here, taking a bit of land back, and we even see a lucky landing made by them in the northern tip of Denmark, which is quickly pushed away, but it's shown that this coalition thing can actually be beaten. I come up with the weirdest stuff sometimes, but yes, they do manage to make that landing. It does end soon though. However, this does give them an opportunity to take away this entire stuff down here. I've got really bad, I don't know, I think I might have a cold, guys, but we see the Swedish land over here in Copenhagen. Well, no, actually they don't. They actually land in northern Germany over here, on this island, so they take that, and then they start moving around Germany, taking quite a lot of land while they aren't looking, and Germany will be like very angry at this. Some Dark Red Union troops have managed to bypass down here, going into Ireland, and now the Irish are really fighting back. We have Paddy McGuinness leading it as the top general, and he pushes up here into all these areas of Northern Ireland, re-liberating the country entirely. Ireland, they're a lot buffed in this scenario. They've been heavily supplied, and they're able to restart their push into Northern Ireland once again. But then the UK, people from the UK don't really like being part of the UK, so we see some rebellions start. So we see Scotland and Wales rebel from the UK, and I'll actually give Scotland all of these islands over here. The Isle of Man is fine. Actually, we just see Ireland's navy surprisingly make a landing in the Isle of Man and taking that whole thing. Bet you didn't expect that, didn't you? But with this new rebellions and the UK kind of wanted to calm things down, well, I guess it's just England now. England will restart a push, or start a push up into Scotland, taking back quite a lot of the land over here in the valuable parts of Scotland, even starting one into Wales, taking back like Cardiff and everything. However, the Dark Red Union, or one of the generals from the Dark Red Union, has made an amazing plan to take over this right here and make a landing in England over here, going through the channel. And yeah, Britain is a bit discombobulated at the minute. We even see, actually no, but we actually see England get fully capitulated in the end. I don't know. I did actually record this part, but then it kind of got messed up. I forgot when to pause and stuff, so it kind of ended. Also, we see some stuff of Portugal down here, but they started an invasion. But the Spanish are going to be able to push this back straight away. With them now pushing into southern Portugal from two angles, fully taking the country over. And yeah, Portugal is not as strong as Spain in real life, and just really most times in history. So now it's just really Germany versus the Dark Red Union, and Norway, Sweden, and Spain and Ireland. So yeah, I don't know if Germany's able to win this. We then see the Dark Red Union manage to push up into the Dutch lands over here, taking their capital once again. And now they are on a full offensive into the German Empire, the German country, Germany. They push into these parts over here, kind of like, you know, in my wiki. So the Germans are a very important country as well. They have Iceland, I believe, but they will push very. My God. I don't know what I'm doing today, guys. I'm very sick. I probably shouldn't be recording this, but we do see the Dark Red Union push far into Germany, and there's not really much stopping the video on this. They even then go up into Denmark over here, taking the entirety of the main peninsula area. I decide to give the rest of like Copenhagen and stuff and that over to the Swedish, who then cut off the German coastline. And Germany at this point, the citizens are kind of angry and they demand surrender, otherwise you'll end up like the UK and you look at the Holy Roman Empire again, and they don't really want to look at the Holy Roman Empire, so they decide to just surrender and, you know, whatever. So this is what we end up seeing the peace treaty look like. Sweden will take hold of Copenhagen and all these islands and stuff. Portugal will actually be fully annexed by Spain, creating the Iberian Union. We see England get obliterated and Scotland and Wales get land. Also Ireland, Northern Ireland is given to Ireland. We also see a lot of land being given to the Dark Red Union. They take like almost all of Western Germany and Denmark as well, or the peninsula area, and also make a puppet state over here. And we also then have Bavaria down here, and I guess just, I don't know, you could call this anything you want, just Germany. It's the remainders of Germany, it's the old government and stuff, and also a Holy British Empire over here. So yeah, that's gonna actually do it for today's video. I don't know how long it is. It took me like 3 recordings to do. I don't know why, but it did. It's not like it didn't take long, but it just took a long time to I kept messing up recordings, so this is the 3rd recording thing, I think. But anyway, this is gonna be the end of it. The Dark Red Union is now a very chunky boy, and we'll take a look at you in the next. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I actually want to talk about something real quick, and that is that I am going on holiday next week, so I might try and schedule some videos for then, maybe 1 or 2. But this is gonna be coming out today, so this is 22nd of May 2025. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.